Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman here with you with my latest share for Traci Reed Designs. Thank you for your patience while life has been happening, but I'm really excited to be back and to be sharing this creation with you. It is a Mix It Up Monday and we are playing with the January. There is two collections. There is the Story Foundations for the whole year and Chapter 1, which is about routines, and the bookish collection from January last year. So what I decided to do was create a little mini album for my reading journal. Basically, I just wanted something fairly simple that I can record the books that I read in the year. I don't really want to leave reviews or anything like that. I just wanted to record how many books I read because I don't really actually know, and I often will think about a book that I read and not remember what it is. So this is my cover. I have printed it on acetate and played with I think all three collections for this one, I think. But you can see I'm just trimming that down. I have printed that onto some acetate sheets. It was an A4 sheet and I just had a black outline printed on there as well. I'm going to back that with a sheet of plain white cardstock. This is really heavyweight. I use it in my card making, but it's a beautiful bright white. It's nice and thick. It stamps beautifully, blends beautifully. I just love it. So I am going to bind this with some little Mambi ring things, you know, the ones with little hearts. But because this cardstock is so thick, it was really hard. You saw I had to really put pressure on to get those holes punched. I do start by using these little gold ones, but I found some rainbow ones in my stash, which is what I switched to, which you'll see in the photos. So I've got my pages here. What I've done is used the month card, so the 3x4 horizontal month card with the white, with the colour. And I've matched the colour of the word to the pattern paper that I've used. I've used a ton of the wood grain prints from the Routines collection, and then I've used some embellishments from the Bookish collection. Now you're going to see here I've slowed it right down for you. So I'm doing my punching on the left hand edge and you can see I've printed it wrong. I was so unhappy with myself. I ended up reprinting this twice because I did it again, but I managed to work with it. Thank goodness this paper is this particular paper that I printed on is double-sided. So when I screwed it up the second time, I didn't waste tons and tons of paper, thank goodness. But you can see here I've printed two to an A4 sheet. I'm just trimming them down, and I've got my my month divider and then my actual tracking page. And like I said, I've picked pattern papers from one of the whichever collection I found had the right colour to go with the colour of the month that I'm using for the monthly page. I hope that all makes sense. Alright, so I'm punching these, matching the blue wood grain to a blue month. I'm like, yes, I got it right. Another tip that I'll give here is if you're doing this, probably only punch one side and then glue them together and then line up your punch. You might find it a bit easier. I do go back in and do a little bit of trimming, but it's fairly simple trimming, but if you want to avoid that step, maybe doing it the other way would be more helpful. I don't know. This worked fine in the end. I'm happy with how the little book turned out. I did find too that using a glue stick was a really good way of sticking these together. It is so far holding up, and it's not as messy as a liquid glue. It's not as like completely stuck as if you used a tape runner, I found. So yeah, I definitely would recommend using the glue stick for this one if you've got one that you trust. You can see as I'm gluing these together, the month page is printed as well, but it is printed on the wrong side, so just ignore that bit. And like I said, the paper that I'm using is double-sided. It is able to be printed on both sides, so that's why. In the end, you can't really even tell, and I mean, it's handmade, so I'm not looking for perfection anyway. Quick flip through of all my pages. So hopefully you can see here what I mean. The month matches the colour paper on the back, and the title was just Books I've Read. I'm showing you here where I'm going to be trimming that down a little bit just so that they're even pages. January I had to do top and bottom, and then for February and a few of the others I've had to trim down some of the holes where the binding's going, but that's really simple. Just a pair of scissors, snip it away, and we're good to go. I did swap over my scissors because I found these ones were a little bit better. Nice pointy paper snips. Yeah, I'm just showing you there. I did end up having to trim like from both sides as well, and then trimming the page down where it needed it, and just slowly going through. So here I go back and did the back of that one. I'm going to put these onto the rings. I don't think I'll make you watch all of it. I think I left a couple of pages for you to see, yeah, just so you could see how I did it. But like I said, I did swap these out for rainbow ones anyway. So that's where we're at. I'm going to pop the cover on, and I've got some trim that I'm going to put on the front and the back. This navy pom-pom trim, it's so cute, I love it. And then this is my back. I'm using that same white cardstock, and this pattern is from the Bookish collection. I did print it, and I totally forgot when I printed it that the covers are a little bit bigger than the rest of the book, so they're a little bit taller than an A4 sheet is on the short side. So I've got a little white gap at the top and the bottom. It's not obvious, and I'm just rolling with it. So again, I'm going in with my my glue stick. This one was a bit trickier to get stuck down not to get stuck down, but to punch the holes because it's so thick. So I've got the really heavyweight cardstock, and then I've got it's lighter weight paper that I've printed, but this punch doesn't have a big gap. So I was able to get one lot of holes punched. The second lot of holes I did have to go in with a craft knife and scissors, but it didn't take as long as I had anticipated it would, so that's good. Just going to stick on the back page. You can see I've gone right to the edge there, not even thinking about it. I'm going to have to use my glue eraser to get rid of that extra adhesive, which is not a big problem. Just line that up, make sure I've got it the right way. I don't want my books upside down. So here I go in with my adhesive eraser to get rid of that excess adhesive. So once I've got that off, I did attempt, like I said, I did attempt to put this into the hole punch, but it didn't work very well. So I've just got my little paper snips here, and I'm snipping along those two straight edges, and then I go in with my craft knife on the straight edges on the inside, and then I use my scissors again to trim around the half circle. You just see me try here to get my scissors in to get that straight edge, and it's really difficult. So I just go with my craft knife, and I don't make you watch all this, but it didn't take anywhere near as long as I thought it would. I've stitched on that ribbon onto the front and the back. I love how it looks, it's so cute. A quick flip through and you can see I've started to fill in January. I use these rings because I can always add in more pages as well without it causing a big problem. Yeah, and this is the flip through. I love it so much. It's going to be a really quick, easy way for me to document my reads of the year. There is a ton of images here. I've literally taken photos of every single page. Like I said, this does combine the Bookish collection from January last year, the collection that dropped on the 1st of January, which is a super, super fun year-long, it's called Story Foundations, and then chapter 1, which is the January edition of Story Foundations, and it's about routines. So I'll make sure I link everything in the description box below. As always, thank you so much for choosing to spend your scrappy time with me. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure you drop them below. Hopefully this is me heading back into somewhat of a normal schedule. I've missed sharing, but life has happened, so fingers crossed, like I said. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next process video. Have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends.